Good morning, folks. This is Tuesday, the 1st of March. This is Flat Cap Callum, and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right, coming up today, we've got the review of yesterday. We've got today's bets. We are only half staking. There is really not much I can find. I've got four horses. I'm happy with those four horses. Be honest, it's probably of the history of doing the channel for the 50 days the channel's existed. It's probably the day that I found least to have a go at. So I'm really happy with the bet I've got, but there's not a lot of choice out there. So we've got one bet coming up today, half stake, £10. And then afterwards, because we only got one bet, we'll go through stats for February, and we'll also cover stats for the first 50 days of the channel. So for those of you who can make your choices about whether or not you're mildly interested or not in hearing stats, I would say to you, stats are super important. Not just my stats, but your stats too. So you keep your own statistics around what I'm doing. I keep mine. But it's also really important that you keep your own statistics for what you do. Otherwise, you rarely ever never know if you are up or down. A lot of people think they're up when they're down, because they don't actually track it. And you can go into your own betting account and actually see, if you've got online betting accounts, to actually work out whether or not, since you last updated your debit card or whatever, whether or not you're up or down. But it's really important to keep stats. So we'll go through those. Okay. Review of yesterday. So it was a very good day for the channel yesterday. We had a really nice bet on bet 1. Bet 2 and bet 3 were shocking. Bet 1 was great. So it was a bit of a mixed bag, but overall very profitable day for the channel. So I made it £20 on 131.17 back. So £111.17 profit, which is 555%, if you want to make it sound even more glamorous. So what did we do? So the first each way lucky 15 was one that was great. So better get along, went in 14 to 1. We had it on the channel at 14s, it SP'd at 1s. SP'd at 14s. That is how I like it. I love it when the prices hold out, and that means people can get on that price. We then had Gypsy Lee Rose placed 12 to 1 on the channel. It backed into 7 to 1. It didn't make a huge amount of difference overall to the outcome of the bet at that price. Annie's Prayer was disappointing, and then Ruby Yates went in. We had it 13 to 2 on the channel. It drifted out to 9 to 1. There was no extra places on that race for Sky Bet, therefore we got best price guaranteed, and we got 9 to 1 on the channel too. So we had a 20p each way lucky 15, which paid out about 50 quid. The important thing is there was an additional 50 pence each way double on the two winners, 14s and 9s. That paid £80. And so when I'm explaining these bets and I'm putting them out there, I know people will pick and choose, and there'll be some of you that might do all the bets that I say in the way that I say. The key thing is, if I'm saying there's an additional single or a double, sometimes those things really do make a difference. I'm saying it for a reason. And on some of my lucky 15s, I leave it straight. Some of them, there might be an additional single, some of them additional double. My advice is, if you're taking the bet that I'm putting on there, do the additional in the way that I'm explaining it. You don't have to bet the stake I'm betting, but do it in the way I'm saying. We've then got the win lucky 15, which was really poor. I was really disappointed. We did have one horse that unseated at the first, but the other three didn't really get close. It was really disappointing. And then Wolverhampton, I don't like Wolverhampton lucky 15s, but I've done one for I did one yesterday and on Saturday, and nowhere near. So that was really disappointing. So 2 bad bets, 1 great bet. Overall, very nice profit for the day. So that was yesterday. Today, really important. Just because yesterday was a good day, and just because that was, I think it's the second 100+ day we've had in 6 days on the channel, doesn't mean I'm on a hot streak. Day to day, it doesn't make a difference. Every day is a different day. Just because I did well yesterday doesn't mean I'll do well today. So staking discipline is so important. So whatever you put on yesterday, put on the same amount today if that's what you're doing. I'm only half staking, so I've got 1 bet. Yesterday I had 3 bets, and I split my stake across 3 bets. 1 bet today. Okay, this is what we've got. You'll see there's no double figure prices today. I couldn't find any double figure prices I liked. So we've got 350 Catterick paying 4 places on Sky Bet. Be the difference, 9 to 1. Then the 555 Newcastle paying 4 places on Sky Bet. Palace Lord 17 to 2. 6:30 Newcastle. It's only a 5-runner race, paying 2 places. Brocktoon Red 4 to 1, And then the 7:30 Newcastle, paying 5 places on Sky Bet. Tathmeen 13-2. Bit of a weaker price, coming a bit, but I'm happy enough with it. And we've got a 30p each way lucky 15. So it's 30p. Normally we do 20 to 25. We've only got one bet today, so I'm going 30p lucky 15. And then we've got an additional accumulator. So I didn't really feel like any one or any two combo were particularly stronger than the others. And the prices are small, so I've just done it as an additional 50 pence each way accumulator on those 4. So that is our one bet for the day, our £10 bet. All right, on to statistics. Some of you will definitely switch off. Some of you will stay on to listen in. All right, so statistics. What have we got? We ended February with a £598 expenditure, £770.98 back, which was 173.52 profit, which was just a bit more than 28%. And on the backdrop of having a profitable January, about 15%, really, really good figures. So what do we do in terms of breaking that down? As you know, some of you know I will do this. Of the win bets, we had 50 horses I put on the channel in February for a win bet. 14 won, 28%, lower than January. Of our each way bets, 289 horses each way I put through on February. So it was a real high volume. 289, 19 of them won. That's about 6.5%, lower than January. 289 placed horses, as I said, 98 of them placed or won. So it's 34%. So just over a third of them won or placed of the horse we put on the channel. That was lower than January. The reason I'm calling this out is the figures are lower than January. What worked for us in February is the combinations. So the way that some of the bets were done, but also some of the fact that with the big wins we had 2, 3 and 4 horses together in the same bet. So overall, our stats in terms of how successful were my horses were much lower in February than they were in January. But the way that we did the bets was much more successful. Highlights in there, we had a 20 to 1 winner, 3 14 to 1 winners and 2 10 to 1 winners. So some decent win prices. Places, we had 2 33s, a 40 to 1, a 50 to 1. And those of you who've got long memories will remember right at the beginning of the month, we had an each way place on the channel at 250 to 1. That was the price I quoted. Some of you got 500s, but 250 to 1 was our each way place. That was the beginning of February. Okay, channels existed 50 days. What have we got for 50 days? £1,023 is what we've invested. We've got £1,260.47 back, a profit of £237.77, which is 23%, there or thereabouts, just a little bit more than that. Horses on their own are 23% profit. Golf is 28% profit, and we did have a small tennis bet that we don't talk about. So horses 23%, channel 23%, golf 28%. Those figures are brilliant. I'm really, really happy with those figures. Now, lots and lots of health warnings coming out. Those figures are great. Will I be able to sustain those figures? Very, very unlikely. So I'm really happy for 2 months of doing the channel for 50 days. That's what the figures say. Is it likely I'll get to the end of the year and the figures will be that good? I think it's unlikely. So, you know, I track my own bets. I know what I do in a normal day outside of this channel. Those figures are particularly good. So, you know, will March be another good one or will it be a bad one? Who knows? Cheltenham Festival's in there. So, you know, if you go big on Cheltenham, you can do well, but you can also lose a lot if it doesn't go well. So, we'll see how those figures go, but I am really, really happy with where we've got to. What I would say is that with this channel, you will get honesty, transparency, value, statistics. That might not sound the most exciting thing, but that's what I'm doing on this channel. And I really want, you know, those of you who stayed on the end to listen to the end of this video, this is for you, okay? Just because the channel is doing £20 bet a day, and some of the bets you might look at and go, why has he done that? That's a crazy price, or what's he having a punt on there? Please don't misconstrue that for I don't know what I'm doing. Because I think hopefully in 50 days you've seen enough evidence of the enough amount of win bets over a period of time to demonstrate I might have a bit of an idea about what I'm doing and I'm not just some crazy guy who set up a YouTube channel. So £20 stake for the channel. The reason I've done that is because I've set up a Sky Bet account to use for the channel. That isn't what I necessarily bet on a daily basis, folks. So £20 is what we're doing for the channel. I'm also doing £20 because I'm trying to put a figure out there that is manageable. I can't find, there might be one, you tell me if I'm wrong, another YouTube channel out there that is doing what I'm doing, in the sense of I'm actually putting all of the bets on through an account. I'm not paying fantasy horse racing with fictional numbers, and I'm also recording all of the statistics. So all the stats I get, so when I get return, I know what I get return because I physically put the bet on through a Sky Bet account. I've set the account up for this channel. So that is what I'm saying to you folks. So I'm not saying I'm a genius, and I will have losing days. And it's really, really important to remember, when we got to the 18th of February, with 18 days of February month, we were running at an £80 loss. We have converted that very nicely into a £173 win. That will not always happen. There will be months and there will be longer periods of time where we do lose. Okay, so please don't suddenly think that I am the oracle and therefore you must bet all of your money with me. But the reason I put out more bets and varied out there is I'm not going to go into it. There's reasons why I do it, and most of you probably figure it out. But there's a reason why I spread the stake in the way that I do. Yes, I'm having a go at things and I'm chancing a few things, but there are reasons why I put the stake in and spread it in the way that I do. There might be the best opportunities out there, and today's a good example. There's better opportunities than what I've taken, but if I can't get a feel for that opportunity with the horses and the form, I won't take the opportunity. So there might be a race that you think is bang on, surely you want to have something in that because there's value. There might be a value race, but if I can't find a value horse, I won't take something in that race. All right, I'm going to stop talking. Hopefully all of that made sense. Last thing I'd say is I really, really appreciate every one of you who likes and subscribes. It's fantastic to get some support for what I'm doing. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's going to like it, but I really appreciate the people that are liking it. And feel free to share it with other people if you think there's other people that you know that might like it too. All right. Thanks very much. Have a good day. See you in the morning, where we will have golf tomorrow for the weekend. Maybe 3, maybe even 4 tournaments, possibly. We'll see. Thanks very much. Cheerio.